Hey, 4-Hers. Last time we talked about getting our fishing rods and reels ready for spring fishing season, and now it's time to focus on maybe getting your tackle box ready. I'm Kevin Allen. I work at Oklahoma State University in the area of natural resource ecology and management, and I also work with the 4-H program here on campus. So if you're like me, again, it's springtime and the sun is staying out longer, and I know the fish are getting ready to bite. So I'm getting pretty excited about hitting the ponds and the lakes. But I also know last year I was the same way, and I used all my tackle and I was fishing. I was so excited, but I just put stuff back in here and I really didn't arrange it and clear it up. So now is a good time to do that. So again, if you're like me, you have all of your favorite lures, and I use this type of case. It doesn't have to be this, whatever you use. But I open it up, and this is the type of stuff I see. Okay, they're getting used. They've been they're tangled. Doesn't look very good, does it? So this is just an opportunity for me to clean out my tackle box and get it ready for fishing season. I'm going to leave this one alone for now, but we're going to focus on this one. And as you can see, there's a lot of stuff going on here. So usually the easiest thing for me is to very carefully remove everything, making sure I don't get a hook in my finger, and try and put it all together, to where like things are like. Again, fishing is it's very personal. So however you set your tackle box up is right for you. No one can do that for you, but it's just easiest for me to remove everything out and then just start again. It's also a good time to look at the hooks and make sure that your hooks are sharp. If they're not sharp, they need to be sharpened, or we need to replace them. Because we want to make sure that we're doing things appropriately when we're fishing, and that we're fishing ethically. So a couple things that I always carry in my tackle box are a pair of clippers. Okay, this is the best thing for me because this, when I start going through, I don't know if you're like me. I haven't seen any yet, but sometimes I have those tag lines that stay on the fishing. Let's see if I can maybe find one. Maybe I did a really good job last year and got those all taken care of. But you know what I'm talking about. You've left the line, you've cut it off, and it's just time to clean things up. So I'm not seeing one right now. Sorry about that. But the point I want to make is make sure that you're using clippers to clip that line. Don't use your teeth. Okay, I know a lot of us are out and we're going, oh, it's just as easy to do that. But really, for good dental health and everything they're talking about is how stiff these new lines are. You actually can put grooves in your teeth from biting fish lines. So you want to make sure that you're using clippers to clean everything up. It's also a good time to look at, if you've used the lure a lot, you can see where the paint has come off. That jig head really needs to be replaced for me because it just doesn't look, it's not going to be attractive to a fish anymore. They're going to go, something doesn't look right. So if you were to compare that, maybe to one like this where the paint is not chipped off and you can see the eye on there, a little bit different there. So you want to make sure that you're cleaning those up and doing things right. Sometimes it's easy just to dump it out and get everything out of that tackle box. Now, normally what I would do is I would take this inside and I would wash this all out. I would wash this out. These dividers slide out, wash it out, let it dry real good, and then start putting my things back in there how I like to use them to make sure that they're there when I want to have the right lures and tackle for what I'm fishing for. It's also a chance for me to get the weeds out, to get everything just kind of separated back out, and also to find any broken hooks that I might have put back in here, or something that I just need to dispose of. Again, you want to be very careful that you're not just grabbing a hold of everything and getting a hook in your hand. And it's just a good way for me to separate everything out. Here might be a good example, okay? So this fishing line, you can see that I'm very careful when I'm out that I don't just throw this on the ground. This goes back into my tackle box and I need to clean it up. That's part of being an ethical sportsman in our state. So that, just gives me a chance to clean things up real good. And to separate it out, and again, just to make sure everything looks good and ready for the spring fishing season. As you can see, some of these tubes have started to get a little bit worn in the front. They've just been used a lot, so now is the time for me to replace those. And to be ready to hit the ponds and the lakes when it's the opportunity is available for me. So I could spend a lot of time showing you how I put things back together. Here's a good example. I came across one. You can see where I've left a tag line on that lure where I cut it off to use something else last year or maybe even the year before. And this is just a good chance for me to take my clippers and clean that hook up, just cut that off. And again, you want to make sure that you're disposing of line in the trash. And again, taking care of our environment when we're doing things in the outdoors. Also, a great time, do not forget this. Okay, this is very important that we respect the laws of our state. I was fortunate enough to be able to purchase a lifetime hunting and fishing license. If you don't do that, that's fine, but make sure that you have a current fishing license and that you're legal in our state. These funds go to help support our various conservation efforts across the state and to make sure that we have good lakes and ponds to fish in and just a good environment for us to enjoy in our great state of Oklahoma. So again, it looks like a lot of work and cleaning up, but when the weather's a little bit nasty sometimes still, it's a good activity for you to just get your tackle box ready and going again for the spring. And that way, when the opportunity comes up, your reels are in good shape like we talked about last time, your rods are in good shape like we talked about last time, and now your tackle and your terminal gear, what we call our terminal gear, are all going to be ready for you to go out and enjoy the great outdoors in Oklahoma. So. Hey Fry-ish members, so I didn't bother you with watching me do all my cleaning of my tackle box, but it's taken me about 5 or 10 minutes just to go through that tray and to clean it up a little bit. So again, I've gone through and you can see where I've tried to, at least for me, get it back into a somewhat sensible order where I've put lots of like lures together. I have the jig heads together and the spinners together, and again, like lures without any hooks on them. I've tried to keep all my hooked lures on one end, but so you can see just the mess from this one tray that I've had. So it gets kind of dirty, you know that when you're out, you're picking up moss in your lures or whatever, and you're throwing it down, getting ready to cast back out because you know that big one's going to hit that lure next. So it ends up getting dirty. I've gone through and these are the lures that I have decided to get rid of for various reasons. A couple things you can see on this tube, it's ripped up pretty good. So it's not going to be as functional as it should be. So it's time for me to get rid of this. Lures don't last forever. Here's another one, a jig that I love to use a lot, but the paint has started to come off. Now, if you're very good at repairing lures, or if you want to get into painting your own lures, this would be an opportunity for you to do that. Make sure you use the right types of paints. But you can see also where the bodies just get dirty or stained. These lures over here, I'm going to put into a different tackle box. I'm going to put them back in with the ones that they've come out of, and just try and keep everything together. So again, it doesn't take very long, but again, the more you do this, the more prepared you are just to walk out the door with your tackle box over your shoulder and your fishing pole and walk down to that favorite stream or pond that you can go fishing at. So I hope this helps you out. I hope you have a great time. hopefully next time we'll be able to do some fishing or at least some videos. I'd love to be out on the pond, but the next thing I want to talk to you about in another video is just practicing. So I'm going to give you some ways that you can practice around home just with things that you have. You don't even have to go to the pond to practice. So, but again, it's a good thing to do just before you get ready to be at the pond or the lake or whatever. So you've got those skills developed and you don't have to worry about doing it right at that point in time. So I hope this helped you out. I hope you have a great time out on the ponds. Invite your brother, your sister, your friends, your mom and dad. Fishing is just a great thing for the whole family to do together. And it's just a good time to spend out in the beauty of Oklahoma. So I hope you have a great time and we'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.